Hi, I'm Naughty JoJo, also known as Joanna Meadows. I've been a longtime swinger. I'm a new porn star, and I'm about to interview with the Amazing Vito.
Thank you, Joanna.
You're welcome. You remember you have the kids this weekend, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, yeah, you have the kids.
Yeah.
hmm
Aren't don't 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 you get doesn't it hurt your jaw? I mean,
Really, there's a lot of adrenaline and a lot of excitement in the moment, and they also most of them will finish themselves on my face. The 8 guy one, I had a fluffer, which is another woman who comes in and helps get guys
yeah,
close.
right.
Um, so it was amateur, but it was pretty professionally done. And so I have all of those on videos for sale on ManyVids as well.
So it's like a business, right? Like
It has
you're
become one.
selling
Um,
you're
I
selling.
do not have, so I'm almost 51 years old and I've worked a variety of jobs in my life, and I have maybe 6 grand in my retirement account.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that. I mean,
I'm just telling you, this is part of my motivation for. I've just recently decided to go a lot more full on into porn because I've been sexual my whole life. I enjoy the exhibitionism. I've been doing this for fun because it was hot and enjoyable, and I started making small amounts of money of it. And I decided that, hey, that's where I'm going to make my retirement. Is I'm going to enjoy the time that I can performing, and I want to work towards management perspective for other talent, for other female talent. Right now we're seeing a big increase in female management and female production companies as well. Um, COVID kind of helped with that, with OnlyFans and things like that. A lot more women are controlling their content. So I am seeing porn in different roles, whether it's performance or management and production, because I would like to get my own production company eventually as my retirement plan. And it's a feasible, viable option for me. What started out as a lot of fun has turned into a little bit of income, and I'm in the process of increasing that.
so
I
you've
would
been doing this for like
2 years.
do you ever the regret where you go it's been over 30 years now, do you have that regret saying I should have been in the industry 30 years ago?
I am kind of feeling that these days. Yes, I am.
Right, yes, I get that too. uh uh Not in porn but uh in other you know, I should have you know, it's always I shoulda coulda whatever. You always have those, you think back and go, man, I could have made a killing if I, or if I did this, or, you know, if I did
Yeah,
that.
I think I could have done really well. It's been interesting for me because blowing up on Twitter was all natural. It was a very spontaneous thing that happened. I didn't use any promotional. I didn't buy likes. I didn't do anything like that. It was spontaneous. I'm trying to think what the word is that they call it in the industry when it's just natural like that. So it made me realize that, yeah, I probably could have done really well. And because I've always been pretty open in my life, like my sister outed me 20 years ago for being a smoker, 21, 22 years ago, to my Mormon family. I'm
Oh, you're
excommunicated.
Mormon.
No, I'm excommunicated. I was literally excommunicated when I was 18 years old, before I was really even as naughty as I got.
Yeah, I talked to a guy and he said Mormons are, the girls are very sexual. Why?
Yeah.
Because they're told they're not supposed to have sex, right?
Yeah, I think there's so many restrictions. It's just like how the Catholic girls used to be the bad girls. Mormon girls are bad girls because I mean, like I said, 16, I'm living in Utah, Mormon girl, and I'm having threesomes and swapping. So,
And your sister, you don't talk to your sister anymore?
not to that one. She's my bad sister. I'm the oldest of 6 children,
Okay.
but I'm very close to my youngest sister, who's about 15 years younger than me. And she was actually very Mormon. She went on a mission. She got married in the church, and after a few years in marriage, realized that she was not very happy in the church, and has since left it. And we are really close. We have very similar personalities, but we're very different in our choices. So she knows all about my. She and I have a brother who's also aware of everything. that's going on now. The rest of my family, they kind of just know that I was a swinger before, and they know that I'm a sexual person. Like they wouldn't be shocked to find out I'm doing this. Um, it- my parents wouldn't be thrilled, but they wouldn't be shocked because they know who I am. All my friends know. It's just my bosses who don't know. I have a adult son. I have a 27-year-old son and
You
his
don't have to
fiance.
you don't have to say this stuff.
Well, it's just how open I am. They know. They know.
I appreciate it, but some people want to keep that private. That's very sweet that you're very open.
we
Uh,
can we can censor out that part. I just very open. So when I really started to jump forward to this, my good friend Lily Craven that I've been working with, she said, this is a tattoo you can never remove. Once you're in porn, it's going to change your eligibility for dating down the road. It's going to change everything. And I did give it a lot of thought, but it's not that different than who I've been all along. Because when I've met people, like when I've gone on Tinder dates, when I first started dating a while back, I was very open, like, hey, I'm in the swinger lifestyle. It's not essential to me to be in the swinger lifestyle. I could be okay in a monogamous relationship. But if I'm working in porn, it's really not monogamous. So they're going to have to understand that, which definitely narrows the playing field. But
would you ever stop if you found a guy that uh that you loved and he loved you? That would be awesome if they both loved each other. And then he's like, I don't, I'm not into the swinging lifestyle, and I'd appreciate it if you want this relationship to continue. I don't want you to be in the swinging lifestyle. Would you have you ever thought of
absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. Well, that's my second marriage was ultimately monogamous. We never did move into swinging or anything like that. And it was happy. It was a very sexual. I've been a very sexual person. So it was a very sexual marriage, right up till the end. But it was monogamous. Even though we flirted and things like that, we never actually had any encounters with other people. And I was happy.
Mm.
The only thing that is different now is that I'm pursuing uh, work that involves
Right.
having sex. So that would make it, I would have to be willing to give up work. And now if it were a situation where he's like, hey, I'm financially secure, I'm willing to if you're willing to give up this financial income and we have contracts that make sure that you're financially taken care of for giving this up, yeah, I'd do it. I'm not, I don't have to have sex with other people if I have good sex with the person that I'm with. I'm not driven to be in the lifestyle because I have to have sex with other people.
Right.
I like having adventures. I like seeing my partner have adventures, things like that. But it's never been mandatory for me. In fact, if this relationship that I'm currently in ends, I I specifically will seek somebody that's not in the lifestyle because it brings its own set of problems. My boyfriend now, when he looks at vanilla couples, the couples that aren't in the lifestyle, we refer to him as vanilla. When he looks at vanilla
I'm
relationships,
strawberry.
you're a little cheekier than vanilla. Um, his solution when they're unhappy and they're getting divorced, well, they just need to be in the lifestyle. They need to be in the lifestyle. And I'm like, no. I have done quite a bit of research, and there is no evidence that being in the lifestyle makes you less likely to divorce, makes you more likely to be successful, or makes you more likely to divorce. There's no really statistical evidence that shows one monogamy or open relationships does better than the other. It's a matter of what kind of person you are. So we're as genetically close to chimpanzees as we are to bonobos. Chimpanzees often have monogamous relationships. They're much less prone to having single partners or single unit families. Bonobos have sex with everybody. They have sex with everybody. That's part of how they communicate. That's how they calm down angry situations and
What
solve conflict.
what are bonobos?
It's a primate,
Like a monkey you're talking about?
bigger than a monkey, closer to a chimpanzee.
Okay, okay. They're called bonobo. I know I should
Bonobos,
know. I love animals. I should know that. And they have a very big
very sexual.
Okay.
And we're just as genetically close to them as we are to chimpanzees. And I'm a big believer that human beings are either, for some people, they're closer to chimpanzees and they're happy in monogamy. And some people are closer to bonobos, where they need that they have that different sexual drive. Can people be in monogamy and still desire other people? Yes. You're not going to not be attracted to other people just because you committed to somebody else, but it's a matter of what your level of commitment is. And like you said, there are people that you have fans that may want to entertain you after a show, and you don't, because you have this level, that your personality has this level of commitment to your partner. So it's not a temptation to pull you away. And then there are other people that it is not within their personality to be able to just be with one person. And I think you get similar you're still going to get divorced, you're still going to get fights, you're still going to have problems. They're just different problems. You fight over different things in the lifestyle than you would, and you still fight over some of the same things, like who takes the trash out or anything like that. But you may fight about, hey, I don't want this couple, you're interested in this couple. It's just different things to fight about. I don't think it solves anything for anybody.
Right. Well, you seem like a very let me just ask you a couple. You seem like a very, thank you for the how candid and how honest you are. Um, do you mind if I ask you a couple more questions? Are you
Don't
cool?
mind at all.
Okay. What what is the most people you've ever uh had intercourse with, or fun, whatever, um in one night? I'm like, she's an open book, and I'm sitting there going,
um,
should have shaved too. Look at this. I look awful.
well, if you're talking actual intercourse, um, four guys. If you're talking like the blow bangs, where it's oral sex, 8 guys. Um, but it is one of my goals. I'm talking to a producer right now. I'm hoping to shoot in April with 12.
12 guys to have the fellatio with.
Gang bang, full on blow bang, gang bang.
So sex and, wow, 12, eh? So
Yeah.
you're gonna go,
Well,
you're
I had talked to Texas Bukaki as one of the production companies. That's not the one I'm working with, but when their goal is 20. So
oh, and you're like, hey, wait a minute here. Let's not go crazy.
let me get to 12 first. Yes.
Let's go to the dirty dozen.
Let's jump things up slowly. And there's a couple of other big producers. I mean, because the blow bangs and the gang bangs and the Bukaki specific production companies, there's quite a few of them out there. And so I'm very curious about working with some of them, because I love the idea of being in a safe environment, because when I'm doing those things, I am so lost in the moment. It's just really enjoyable for me. And then I don't like hearing it later. I like watching it. I have to watch my own porn with the sound turned off because I don't like to hear myself. But it's the all around experience. I do get performance anxiety, and sometimes I'll cry a couple hours before I'm supposed to.
You'll cry?
Oh, I'll just be so stressed out. And
Like you sound like me before I go on stage. Oh God, this is gonna be awful.
Yes. I don't know if I could do this. Like,
They're gonna hate me.
Performance anxiety. Yeah. And I've actually, Lily has the similar problems.
You really cried?
Yeah. That's my poor boyfriend is like, why are we even doing this if you're this upset? I'm just shut up and let me fall apart for a little bit.
Why are you crying? You're just nervous?
Yeah. It's just the performance anxiety. Am I going to do good? What is there going to be any problems? Am I, what if they're not excited? I'm fat. I feel fat today. Things like that.
And okay, yeah, all right. I didn't know that. I thought you'd be like, hey, all right, let's go. But yeah, I didn't know that. That threw me right off, that you would actually cry before, and that not because you're being forced or anything. It's just your nerves.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I know other women that are in the industry that express similar things, that will fall apart a little while beforehand, just because it just suddenly feels like a lot of pressure. And am I going to do a good job? Can I do a good job? Is everybody going to be happy afterward?
I'm sure. You see, guys can't fake it. Girls, right? I mean,
Mhm.
when I talked to Lisa Sparks, uh, she said that it was like all business to her. So it was kind of, there was no, it was kind of like this is my impression how, and I've talked to her a few times. I actually have 3 interviews with her, and me being the genius that I am, I forgot to press record on our second interview. So we had this wonderful interview. It was incredible. She killed like 7 people. Nobody knows. So yeah, she's a sweet girl. And she said that she was with this black guy. And see, in this day and age, you don't know what to say anymore. So she was with this black person, and he couldn't finish.
In pop,
Yeah, so I guess yeah, that's what you call it, pop.
it's
Couldn't
called the
pop.
pop in the
I just
industry.
I just popped a second ago. So the the, the what I said, so what did you do? And she said her husband, this threw me right off. Her husband had to like had had to take over. And I'm like, so what did he do? Did he did he go blackface penis? Like how did he
Yeah, how
you
did you work that
go from
out?
a black guy to a white guy? And that was really nice, your husband saying, hey, you know what, let me finish this up. So he anyways, she said they only taped the tip, so it looked like you couldn't tell. But
That's
it
pretty
was
good.
very she was very her way of putting it was, show me what you got. You say you could perform, because I just, I want to do my the scene, and then I just want to go home. This is a job for her.
Well, and I can see, I didn't ever want this to be a job before. I didn't want to be like, all right, I'm obligated to do this. I sign up to the, right now it's still exciting and fun for me. The wanting to get some financial security has certainly made it more of a job. So I do anticipate in my future that there are going to be times that I'm really not fed up
But
for
you're a good
doing it.
looking woman. I'm surprised that like no dude with money has come up to you and said, hey, you know what, I'll take care of you. You know what I mean? Do you?
Well, the thing is, I have never been very money focused in my life. I really
Good,
haven't.
good.
I didn't. When I was a young woman, I wouldn't let men buy me
You're
drinks.
not materialistic.
Not at all. I've never. I've always earned my own. I'm oldest is 6, so I started babysitting when I was 8. I started mowing lawns when I was 12. I've always earned my own thing, and I've always been very resistant to anyone taking care of me.
Okay.
So I think that's inhibited me. That cheating boyfriend, he did have a lot of money and talked about taking care of me. And my current boyfriend has money, and I know that if we last long term, but he wants me. He very much wants me to build my own financial security,
Right.
just for myself. And if I'd been more money focused in the past, maybe I'd have built it myself. But I have never been one of those girls that has been attracted to the men that splurge on you and take care of you, probably to my own detriment. I'd probably be more financially secure, but it's just never been who I am. And things in my life, I've gone up and down with what I've had financially and materialistically in my life, almost always work out for me. And
Right.
I feel like that's how things are just going to continue. And I feel like this is an opportunity for some of those things to work out for me. And it's
Yeah.
going to be my own.
Good. I'm glad that you're not, because to me the biggest turnoff is a materialistic person.
Yeah.
It just turns me right. I'm like, give me a break. You don't need all this crap to be happy. Be happy.
No. No, I drive like a 98 Honda CRV and I could care less because it
I
gets me
got
to
a
the
I got a
trailheads.
I got a I got a Lamborghini, but it's about that big and it's sitting in that shelf. Um,
Yeah.
my joy are my people, yeah, my kids. For me, it's just now they're getting older and they ignore me, and but it's just people after doing shows or anything like that, if I could drive home, people are like, why don't you just stay home? And I'm like, I like seeing my kids,
Yeah.
you know.
No, it's the experiences in life that I like. I take a lot of joy in my friends. My son, I have grandchildren. That's very fulfilling for me. I love the outdoors. I'm an avid hiker.
Yeah, me too.
I hiked 455 miles last year from May until
I
December.
don't know about that. I didn't go. I like to go hiking, but not 450, you know. I don't mark it down like you. I just go, hey, I
I'm one of those number girls.
I
I
made
love
it to the
numbers.
big red tree again. All right.
Uh, I climb 14ers.
Pardon?
Do you know what 14ers are?
No.
It's
Man,
not
I'm learning a
it's
lot.
not 14-inch penises. It's it's mountains that have summits that are 14,000 feet above sea level or greater. And in Colorado, we've got
Oh
57.
yeah. Well, Colorado's so beautiful.
I adore it here.
Yeah.
I really
Do you
do.
remember Mork and Mindy?
I do. There was
Okay.
filmed up in Boulder.
Yeah. Do you remember the scenery? I remember when I saw that, I just fell in love with it and I said, I'm gonna move there one day, and I never did.
It is
So
gorgeous,
it is
but it is
gorgeous.
very expensive. It is very the medium average home price in Boulder is like $1 million.
Really? Well,
It's
I get
expensive to live here these days. I live in Denver proper, and I do love it. Um, I've also lived in the mountains. I lived at about 9,000 feet in the mountains of Boulder County. I used to grow uh, medical marijuana for about 6 years. I grew large scale medical marijuana in the mountains of Boulder County, and it was incredibly beautiful. It was gorgeous, but I don't think I'd ever live in a mountain community again.
no,
I like my city.
if you ever get a chance, watch. I did a little story about it's called Murder Mountain, and it's on Netflix. Look it up.
Oh
Anyway,
no, actually, I've heard of it about
yeah,
the growing industry out there. Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
it's kind of it's an eye opener, just like this conversation. See, I thought it would be a different. I didn't know all this stuff, and I hope people uh uh you know people can be very judgmental, and I've met people that are um you know how do you word it, they they're as a person, they're a terrible person, okay, and then you meet somebody. I mean, I don't know you, you don't know me, uh uh but you know uh, where you meet somebody and they're stigmatized because of like what you said, oh, I'm a swinger, I've been with, I'm gonna shoot this with 8 people, and people just the comments. I never read the comments because, well, sometimes I do, but people will say the most stupidest, disgusting things, and I'm like, hey man, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But who are you to judge? Go on with your life.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life. You have one. Enjoy it, and let the person do whatever they want to do. Now, if you're harming yourself, if you're
Or
hurt,
someone else.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I'm gonna sit there and go, hey, you know what? I don't want you to get hurt. I Please, I want you to stop or whatever. But if it's you're a grown up, you're doing what you love, and you're taking precautions. You're I that's I have no who am I to judge? Who is anybody to judge?
And that's how I feel. I've been very fortunate with my Twitter, Naughty JoJo. I've had very few negative comments on it. Like someone had said something about my wonky eye because like I'm blind in this eye, so my eyes don't always line up,
Oh,
especially
I
if
didn't
I'm
know
excited.
that.
Well, if you see some of my pictures on Twitter and stuff, you'll see. But then, and that kind of hurt my feelings. But then I had
Of
some
course it
respect
would. Of
that
course it
were
would.
like, actually, I love your wonky eye. It's one of the things that my boyfriend loves my wonky eye. It's a turn on for him.
So you can't see out of that eye?
I'm essentially blind. I can in that eye from a detached retina. I can see shapes, but I also have severe glaucoma in it. I have an implant and drain in it. I had a retina repair in my left eye to prevent detachment. And then I had a cataract surgery, and now I'm developing glaucoma in it. That is also part of my motivation for trying to build some financial security because I have a significant likelihood of being blind by the time I'm 70.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear
So
that.
it's, it was the final thing that made me decide that I am going to pursue income on a greater level through porn. Um, I A lot of things can happen with technology before then.
Sure.
And my grandma had, she didn't have the retina issues that I do. I'm very fortunate. I've had some amazing doctors. So when they did my cataract surgery I was legally blind without corrective lenses before any of this happened. So every day that I'd wake up and I wouldn't know you, I wouldn't be able to see the details of your face. I'd be able to see you had dark hair and you had a face, but that'd be the extent of it. Now I wake up since my cataract surgery and I know who people are for, so that was like hugely amazing for me to get that. And it is kind of scary, but my grandma died when she was almost 91 and she had severe glaucoma and she could still see. My
Good.
mom is 73 years old and she has glaucoma and she can still see. So while I do have some different risk factors, I don't feel like it's a foregone conclusion. But if you're going to take something that's scary, that there's this negative potential for it, why not turn it into something that is productive and that is positive, so that if I am blind by 70, I'd be in a position to still live independently, even if
Right,
I
of
can't
course.
see.
Yes, of course, because
Um,
in this world, um, you're born alone and you're gonna end up dead alone. Um, that's just the way it is. And nobody knows. This is what I always tell people. You don't know what that person's suffering. You don't know
no,
what, you
no.
know.
So when they said the wonky eye thing, I was kind of like, ow, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But
I would,
then I had fans who jumped to it and they were like, hey, we like that. We find it
yeah.
attractive. And I had one dude who said, uh, you need to bleach your butt. You need to bleach your butthole.
What?
You know that's a thing, right?
No,
Oh, it's a big thing.
it's a joke.
It's not a joke. There's products out there. There are women that feel like they have to do this, that they should have a little pink butthole. I have dark skin. There are women who are, because I have olive in my skin. There are other women that are much darker. And that one really hurt my feelings. And I was like, why? Isn't it bad enough? Like, I don't have fake boobs. I still fall to some of the pressures of society of what is attractive to women. I do Botox, I do peels and stuff. I do things to strive to appear young. I don't need one more thing to be doing to my body to change something that's
But
natural about
Joanna, what do you mean, like putting bleach up there?
me. Bleaching cream to lighten the skin in your butt crack and around your butthole.
And people honestly do this.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, I thought that was a joke. Like I've heard that,
No, he was dead serious. And there are women that do it because now they feel
but
ashamed and
but
embarrassed of it.
won't that isn't bleach toxic to the skin? Won't that
Oh, well, it's dermalogical bleach, like you can get it from an
bleach
esthetician.
your butt?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are the two like worst things that anyone, at one point I had 65,000 followers at Twitter, and those are the worst things that said to me. And when I said to Lily, I'm like, I've got to get a thicker skin if I'm going to jump into this, because I am going to get more judgment. I have a naturally supportive community that I'm used to for decades from being open sexually, and it's going to be a little bit different out there in the real world. People are going to say things, and she's like, are you kidding? People have accused me of being a man. People have, she's like, you just can't read the comments. You
Yeah,
can't.
but you know what I don't like though is I don't reply to anybody that um especially on Twitter is a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Okay. it is like like people are just uh they'll say the worst things to you. And I don't reply to anybody that has a fake, like it's an emoji with a fake name.
Yes, yeah, I won't either. And if
Yeah,
I can't see their account and see the real people, I won't either.
yeah, to me, I'm like, buddy, you could be whoever you want. All you're doing is just trying to get a rise.
You're being a
So
troll.
yeah, that's all. So
Yeah.
don't ever take anybody serious. Okay, so
I,
one
I, go ahead.
I know you got to take care of the dog. Okay, so um what would you tell anybody that wanted to get into the lifestyle? This is the last question, okay? So what is the last, like if somebody said, if I came up to you and I was young, I look like I'm 19. But if I was a young person and I came up to you and I said, listen, I'm 21 and I want to get into the swinging lifestyle. I don't have a partner. What do I need to do? What do you tell them?
I would point them towards something like Cassidy, um, to build a profile so you can start checking out the community that way. Because Cassidy, in addition to having the profiles of different people, they also do all the events. So that's going to open up your opportunity because they do meet and greets for singles on Wednesday nights at the Scarlet Ranch. There are other hosts and things like that. I highly recommend if somebody is interested in getting into the lifestyle, depending on where you're located. Like I said, there's the SLS, there's the LLS, Lifestyle LSL, and there's Cassidy. And I know there are other ones out there. I think they're great resources. Some are better than others. Some are better technologically. Some have larger populations on them. Cassidy is one of the biggest ones. I would recommend getting a paid profile because you can get free profiles, but then you have very limited things you can do on them. I would recommend getting a paid profile and checking out events. FetLife is another resource, another website that you can find introductory community events and things like that on it. I think it's in this day and age, those are probably your best resources. If you are aware that there are lifestyle clubs close to you, that's another option. I think it's much more difficult to get into the lifestyle as a single male because there are many more single males trying to get into the lifestyle than single females. And most clubs put a lot more restrictions on single males. I really do think something like Cassidy or one of the other lifestyle forums is going to be your best bet because they're already used to helping people come into the lifestyle, and they usually have a variety of resources to facilitate that.
And if it was a young woman, like
I would recommend the same thing, but like a young man, I would say, hey, you need to know that there's consent and respect. That these are things that you're going to have to practice, and that it is going to be harder for you to go into the lifestyle. And I would stress to anyone going into it the importance of communication. For a younger woman, I would stress to her that, hey, this is an environment that there's going to be predators in, just like there is in the real world, but you're going to be more vulnerable and more exposed because of the environment that you're in.
right.
So I would just be like, hey, if you choose to drink and you choose to do drugs and stuff like that, you be cautious or make sure you're with people that you know and people that you trust. It's unfortunate to have to send a different message to a female than a male, but that's the reality of this world, not just the lifestyle.
I see. Well, I want to thank you for your time. That was
Oh, I
very,
was glad to. This was
very
very enjoyable.
well. I appreciate that you being honest and open and very you didn't hold back, and that I respect that. Okay. So I'll put up a link to your Twitter. And is that your dog? Let me see your
That's
dog.
my dog. That's my GSP who desperately wants a walk.
Okay, he's got to go walk.
No, she's
So
fine. She's just
so
obnoxious.
you take care of yourself, okay?
Okay.
You
Um, are you almost done recording? Are you still recording?
I'm still recording.
Oh, okay. I wanted
Okay.
to say something after you're done recording. Oh,
Yeah.
you can edit, right?
Okay. Well, um,
Sorry.
Anyways, I was gonna ask you something more stuff, but it's gonna you've got a day to go. But anyways, I want to say thank you. You're a very sweet person,
You're
and
welcome.
you're an open book. And I hope people that watch this, if you got something rude to say, I really don't care. But if you're interested, I'm gonna put a link to her Twitter. You could contact Joanna, and hopefully you get something out of this. That's the whole point
Yeah.
why I interview people. I really enjoy talking to people from all walks of life, and this is a really big eye opener. No pun intended. This
You're
was
awful. You're
an
awful.
enjoy. I know I'm evil,
Right.
so I'm
Well,
such
I
an
enjoyed talking to you, and I hope I realize there's going to be judgment from some people, but
don't.
I hope that for the people that are out there, that it's something that's a part of their lives, or they're considering it being a part of their lives. I hope it makes them feel more comfortable with how they feel and the choices they make.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and you be safe. Okay.
I will. Thank you.
Folks, I'm the amazing Vito. I was talking to the amazing Joanna JoJo. Be good, be safe, and always be kind. Okay.